South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Silkowski, Michael Termanuelian, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Brad Gilbert.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Power Hour. My name is Mike. I represent the Lollipop Guild. I represent the tour. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening. It is Thursday, September 5th. Football is back in our lives. That's exciting. But more importantly, and even more exciting potentially, we have TPC San Antonio this weekend. Greater Hill Country Division playoffs. Guys, it is going to be so much fun, such an intense weekend of golf, accumulating to 2 new golfers being added to the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. And we have a lot to talk about, some hot takes, some guesses who's going to show up, and who we think is going to take low gross and low net this weekend, steal their spot on the team. Maybe somebody who's sitting high up in the point standings on the Trail Division. Maybe it's someone who is not, and they've just owned the Greater Hill Country Division this season. But that will be seen. Before we talk about it, before we dive into it any further, let's go ahead and bring out my good friend, my playing partner, honestly, the wind beneath my wings, Brad Gilbert.
What's up, MD?
What is going on, Bradley? How are you, my friend?
Very good. I'm very excited to talk about the playoffs. Very, very excited for this weekend. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Brad is joining us from his new house. He's moving in, but he is joining us live from his new house for the first time on the podcast.
Yeah, still a lot of work to do, but I had to take a break and couldn't miss the podcast. That's for sure.
Oh, we appreciate it, bud. Let's go ahead and bring in the fearless leader. You know him as a great many things. He is, he's a champion for the amateur golfer. He is a leader for lost souls. He's a little bit crazy. He's a little bit funky. Does he like to get jiggy with it? Maybe. But what I do know is that when push comes to shove, when there is a tournament that needs to be scheduled, set up, executed, and delivered, this is the man you call. His name, Travis Silkowski.
What's up, everybody? MD, Mr. Gilbert is on the show tonight. MD is on location, on vacation in Missouri, really close to Kansas City. Really close up there.
Scotty Williams out there wishing it was him.
It could be. Yeah, heck yeah.
He's in the barn right over there, actually.
Nice.
Brad Gilbert, congratulations. Closing on a new house is a big deal.
Thank you.
Yep.
Fantastic. I'm glad you didn't come over to the Ambassador get-together because Mark and I got deathly ill.
Oh, really?
Mark is still under the weather.
Whatever you guys ate was something I clearly didn't eat because I felt fine.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I have no idea, but I was violently under the weather Monday and Tuesday. But back at them today to send out the first notice to players for Greater Hill Country Division playoffs. The first time ever the Greater Hill Country Division is hosting a 2-day event. The first time ever the tour travels to TPC San Antonio. It marks the third time the tour has played on a golf course that will have hosted a PGA Tour event. Brackenridge Park and Willow Springs being the others. So I mean, it's just awesome weekend.
Travis, before we jump in, anything, let me ask you this: as a PGA professional, as someone who has dedicated a lot of the last 10, 12 years or more, not only to this tour, but significantly more years to golf. What does this weekend mean? That culmination of, like, obviously last year we knew that this is something that we wanted to embark on and do. We've seen the year go by. I know you always get excited when it's time to write that tour travels email or that first notice to players for Monster Day. What was writing that email like, and what are your feelings on this weekend? How is that? What does it mean to you?
Well, it's a super deep question, right out of the gate, with absolutely no prep.
I love it. Well, that's what we're all about here. Shock and awe.
I missed pre-show warm-ups tonight, but yeah, you're exactly right. If I ever do take that chance to step back and really kind of look at the tour as a whole, this weekend is a huge pinnacle for the tour's journey and just the tour's growth throughout the region. Bringing 40 plus golfers to TPC is so cool. I mean, it's so cool. Tour Travels is amazing, and Tour Travels is kind of this cult classic thing that'll never go away, and it's so much fun. And the Greater Hill Country Division was always a goal to expand the amateur tournaments too, and to be here, to have had a successful first year, and to take the tour and some of our most dedicated tour players to a facility like TPC for not just one day but the whole weekend. It was really cool writing that email last night and the first notice to players tonight. And it was a different first notice to players. It wasn't the stock template. It was different. It was handwritten. It was cool. It was really fun. It was emotional if I sit back and think about it.
And I mean, again, you are as passionate about the. Am I getting feedback from somebody?
Yeah, a little bit. Is it me?
I don't know. But you are as passionate as anybody about local golf in San Antonio, and I'm just so happy with how it worked out this year. I think we've had a great turnout, really great courses, great experience at all those courses. Everybody basically said, "Hey, let's get you signed up for next year to bring you guys back." So really cool.
Yes, really excited. And MD, I think the feedback's coming from you. Brad and I both went mute there, so I think it might be you somehow. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's the mic a little bit, but yeah, speaking on the playoffs at TPC, like especially being a 2-day event, the 1-day golf tournaments are awesome. But when you're playing on that first day to where, you don't have to, go all out and, win it all that first day. I mean, it's really cool experience every time we do a 2-day tournament. So really looking forward to that.
And we say at every event, you can't win the tournament on day one, but you can lose it.
That's true.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it follows the same format as the trail division does, with each day being its own tournament, right? Yes. It's not a 36-hole tournament. It's a 2 18-hole round tournament. So there's a little bit of a difference there. And it gives you a chance to survive day one and regroup and really come back when the points escalate on Sunday on the Oaks course. And can you I just see this storybook ending. The sun is touching the trees, and the final groups of Champ Flight are coming up 18 on the Oaks course, and First Flight is in, and there's a couple people on the points bubble, and somebody just makes something on the 18th hole on the Oaks course to make the team. Yeah, I just feel like this story is writing itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cool that we get to take advantage of both courses, having the Canyons on day one and finishing at the Oaks. For those of you out there who aren't familiar with both courses, the Oaks course is where the Valero is played every year. So if you watch it, or if you've been out there before and been to the Valero, that is the golf course that is being played or will be played. So really, really cool to get out there. Brad, tell us a little bit about. Obviously, I'm out of town this weekend. I am competing in a tournament here in Missouri. But you're going to get to play this weekend. What are you doing to prep? I know that this is a big weekend for you. I know you'd like to make the team this avenue versus maybe playing through the trail, even though you're in first place. But talk to us about how you're prepping for the weekend.
Yeah, well, first I'll just say that I'm pretty excited because I heard that they put the Valero Texas Open stands up for us on the golf course. Is that right? No, okay.
There is. They just underwent a practice facility upgrade, and it just opened in time for the Hill Country Division playoffs. So
they rushed to get it done for us.
Yes,
nice.
Jason Bird pressed them hard at TPC to get it done. And he said it is mint and something special. So to blow him away, it's got to be pretty okay.
For sure. And I heard there's a picture of Bird with a shovel helping out as well, just to finish it up, make sure everything's good. But yeah, no, as far as preparation goes, to be honest, work has been pretty crazy this week. Like everyone knows, it's a short week with the holiday. And it's almost, it's almost always busier after the short holiday. So I really haven't had time to practice much at all. But I've been doing swing positions every night, still working on that as much as I can. I'm probably going to try to get out there and chip and putt tomorrow for as long as possible. Probably go to Northern Hills, hit the range a little bit if I can. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm just looking forward to playing, where the pros play, basically.
Exactly. Right. It's a point decision is going to be made at the same place that we all watch on television in April.
Yeah.
I think next year, I think the tournament's in March, but it was April this year. But yes, I can see it, the story writing itself, coming down the stretch on the Oaks course, live leaderboard, First Flight's in.
Yeah.
First Flight's got an idea of what's going on. And there we go. Out on the farm. MD's out on the farm. Podcast on location. And now MD's on mute. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, still mute. But I will.
Okay, he said he just gave up. It's perfect.
But
Michael launching a hybrid into a tree. He just gave up.
It's hilarious. But I guarantee that, I hope I'm in the last group, obviously. But if not, whenever I finish, however many groups are coming, I know I'm going to be sitting around that 18 hole.
It's such a cool venue to watch down the stretch. And the points are going to be on the big screen in the scoring area. It's just going to be a really cool setting, and it'll be the first time this year that the South Texas Match Play Challenge team uniforms and the South Texas Match Play trophy will be on display on the first tee box on Sunday. So it'll really get those, like today. today really got me going when MD opened the show, and you could tell that he was excited. His tone was different. The speed of speech was different. He's making jokes about the Lollipop Guild, and that got me fired up. And hitting that tee shot on number 1 next to the trophy is cool. Is cool for sure.
That is very cool. That is very cool. Cannot wait. And I think you sent out the announcement. I think I'm in the first group tomorrow. So
first to last.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah. First group tomorrow, last group on Sunday is always the goal. Nice. We've got some predictions in the chat from Casey Graham. We've got a champ flight prediction of 3 under par on the Canyons and 1 over par on the Oaks, -2 for a gross champion in championship flight. I think Casey is normally spot on his predictions of scores and points, but that's low.
That's pretty low.
There's some reports back that the rough is super juicy. The greens are exceptionally glassy.
Nice.
And I gotta figure it's going to be somewhere around 72, 75 would be my guess here. Maybe we establish a bell curve with that. 3 under to even par on the Canyons, and 1 over to 4 over on the Oaks course.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Casey's looked at the forecast, but Saturday looks like it's 90 degrees, but 17 mile per hour winds out of the northeast. And Sunday's 86 with 13 mile per hour wind. So, you got to think like, how's that going to play with the wind picking up? It's probably going to be tough.
The Canyons is rated much easier. It's much more fair, but the tournament setup is a tee box further on the Canyons course to compensate for that difference in ratings. So the tournament setup committee really dove into the numbers when choosing the tee boxes for each course, and that's why it changed from day 1 to day 2. There we go. We've got MD on location again, trying something different. Do we have him back with audio now? Maybe. He said maybe. He's getting closer.
Look at his magic.
That's the Brad and Trav keep talking signal.
Yeah. But like Tim Smith says in the comments, should be lower humidity, so he's planning on bombing it. So, and he can too.
Low up here at my place. I'm a couple miles north of the city, and up here the low forecast on Sunday night 59 degrees.
Oh, geez.
I love hoodie weather. I love hoodie weather. And the hoodie for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team is awesome. I absolutely love it. It's super cool. Hint, it's alpaca quilt. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. I love it. But yes, I can't wait. Sabrina is in the other office working on the uniforms right now, buttoning up that. The golf bags for the team were ordered this week. They are crispy clean.
Nice.
We're really getting close. I feel like Dennis Danowski, Greg Graff, and Willie Nichols have been on the team by themselves for a hot sec.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really ready to add 2 more names to that roster for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team this year.
I think there's a lot of people that are, you talk about waiting for the team spots to get filled. I think you've got a list of players playing this weekend that have been waiting for an opportunity to be one of the first 2 players to make the team through this division. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Jeremy Jaramillo made a comment in the section there. I know there was some going back and forth. We were talking about scores,
And I do want to point out that this is absolutely correct statement here from Jeremy. It is 2 one-day 18-hole tournaments. It's not combined score. I know we were talking kind of like it was earlier when we were just talking what it was going to take.
Sure.
It is 2 separate one-day tournaments in a 36-hole event. Yes, absolutely. MD, can we look at the point standings here? I know it's going to be real tough to see. This is available on the website, on the homepage. There is a link to this on the homepage under the countdown to the playoffs. You can find that link there. It takes you to the homepage of the Greater Hill Country Division playoffs. This is also in every competitor's email box in the last couple days as well, including tonight, just a little bit ago, with pairings, which we will look at next. But this is your 1 through 40 starting playoff roster. Bob North starting the Greater Hill Country playoffs in first place. I gotta assume he's watching right now. Bob North, target on his back, 39 other players looking up at him, including the rest of the top 10, Sam Castilleja, Danny Lee, Sean Vidal. On the screen with us tonight, Brad Gilbert, Ricky Ho, Rick Hoinsey, Casey Graham in the comment section starting at 7th, Charles Romero and the best mustache ever starting in 8th place, Hunter Patterson and Caleb Castilleja round out the top 10. We know Jeremy and Tim are watching. We got to figure that Dustin and Jeff are watching as well. It is so close. I know when we look at this, there's a player starting with 0 points, and that's a typo for Ray Kang. Ray Kang played in one event at the Bandit, so this is going to get updated for the second notice for Ray Kang. But there's one person starting with 0 points, and then there's Bob North all the way up there at 120 points. And you think about it, and you look at the points distribution in the email or on the website, and first place is 225, and 5th place is 100 points. So 5 places on day 1 equals this chart. So the chart basically breaks the scorecard playoffs and breaks the ties. But everybody in this field has got a shot to win the Greater Hill Country Division and to qualify for the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour South Texas Match Play Challenge team.
So with that being said, Travis, I know we don't want to play favorites here. I know we don't want to say that we're not believing in anybody. But I have to ask my panel here and, of course, our audience, give me some predictions.
Well, okay, predictions. We talked about score a little bit already, and let's talk final point standings. Starting playoff points plus round 1 plus round 2 equals the final standings, right? A plus B plus C, easy algebraic formula. And it's tough to look at that top 10 and the top 40, for example. We were talking about this in the chat before the show, that really every single person on this roster would impact the match play team, would come in and impact the team one way or another. And it's tough to root against Brad because he's on camera right now. You know,
you gotta be reasonable.
but with that being said, Brad is having an amazing ACGT division summer season, and winning a season in that division is so difficult. I don't want to take anything away from that. So I'm rooting for Brad in the summer season of the trail division.
There you go. Appreciate it.
Travis, I think it's in the comments here. People are asking if you offer dance lessons. Apparently you've skillfully danced around the actual question I asked.
Oh, I'm getting there. Sabrina would call it mansplaining, but I'm getting there. I prefer to refer to it as effective communication. I look up here at this screen, and there are 4 players that I see: Bob North, Sam and Caleb Castilleja, and Danny Lee, that played in all 6 of the Greater Hill Country Division events. That is amazing, outstanding, and every other adjective that you could think of in a positive tone. Those would be the first 4 that I would be rooting for. Let's reward unyielding participation as much as we can, right? And there's something about Bob North and Sam Castilleja. When they walk into the room, they're always smiling. They're always having a good time. They always bring a positive attitude into whatever room they're walking into, whatever golf cart they're getting into. And they would both be awesome picks. Danny Lee has grinded out some swing changes, practicing, and really revamped his tournament game this year. So Danny Lee would be amazing. But my pick, and I think would be a lot of other people's pick as well, is the Tour GOAT. I think it would be amazing if Sean Vidal added Greater Hill Country Division champion to his belt this weekend. That is secretly what a stamp on his tour career this would be.
I think that
so
that takes it to an entirely different level. Brad, excluding yourself, who picked me for you?
Don't worry, I'm not gonna pick myself. Even though I'm gonna try for sure. But man, you know what? I saw how Jeremy played at the last event at Lost Pines. He's playing absolutely amazing right now, and he's only 30. What is that? 28 points away from first place. So I mean, I can't see Jeremy not playing really well at TPC.
He is the lowest handicap.
Yeah, and he's
the best golfer in the field.
Yeah, and then you got Tim Smith and Dustin Weldon right below them, all 3. I mean, everyone obviously is playing well, right? But if I had to pick, I mean, I can't see Jeremy not getting one of the 2 spots. For the second one, it's hard to see Bob North throwing this away. I mean, he's played so well all season, and I mean, Bob's a closer, so I mean, I can see Bob, but I know, if we're just going down just for argument's sake, Claudia Ramirez. I mean,
oh my gosh, Claudia would be so great.
Yeah,
Claudia or Morgan coming out of the Greater Hill Country Division would be a huge success.
For sure.
These courses there's more forced carries, they're longer. The Greater Hill Country Division in general, not just TPC.
Yeah.
But to come out, that would be awesome. I got a dark horse pick.
Okay.
A little further down the list, in 29th place with 57 starting playoff points, Bart Wilson. I think
it is his course.
It is his course. It's his home course, and I think he wants the team, and I think he wants the team bad, and I think he would be somebody that would impact the team instantly, both personality and playability, and I think that's a dark horse pick to watch out for in Champ Flight. Someone starting a little further down the leaderboard, We were talking a little earlier in the show about surviving Saturday and stepping it on Sunday, and that's a name. That's a name that I would watch as we make the turn on Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
I like those picks. I think there is a guy out there who loves South Texas Match Play Challenge. He loves the tour. I think he's quietly been playing very solid golf. He plays this golf course enough. I think he's got the
I think I know. And I
big
think
mentality on it. I'm gonna say Casey Graham needs to have a little more respect on his name.
Yeah.
He's got the distance. The man's a putting machine. He knows the course and he knows what's at stake. I think he wants it bad.
I think that's a really good point. Casey is a phenomenal putter, and he has a style of putting that is his very own, right? He is a last revolution putter, and that works better the faster the greens are.
Yeah.
And TPC is pretty slick right now.
Yeah.
So that's a dark horse. I thought for sure you were coming with Ricky Ho. And I think Rick Ho from the senior, Rick Hoinsey, away up there in sixth place. Ricky Ho from the senior tees in first flight. If he can make it 36 holes, that's a name to watch too. You know,
that is absolutely a very good name to watch. I'd love to see a nice battle between like Rick and Tim Smith coming down the stretch. I think Timmy wants it pretty bad too. I know he's been busting his ass to get ready for this. I'd love to see a little battle down the stretch with them.
Let's switch over. The first notice to players went out this evening. Here are the pairings. This is also available on the stxamtour.golf website on the Greater Hill Country Division Playoff web page. That was a mouthful. Link on the homepage right there. Can't miss it. Right under the countdown to the playoffs, which, in case anybody is wondering, is at 1 day and 14 hours until
before you know it,
until the playoffs kick off. But how about that first pairing, the 12:30 pairing in Champ Flight on day one? This is ordered by points for round one. In Champ Flight, top to bottom order, and then First Flight, top to bottom order. So the featured groups are the 12:30 and the 1:20 with Brad Gilbert, Casey Graham, Sean Vidal, and Danny Lee. Wow. Bob North, Sam Castilleja, Rick Hoinsey, and Charles Romero. I mean, those groups to start each flight are solid. And then look at the second group up there in Champ Flight. Jeremy, right? Dustin, Tim Smith, and Hunter Patterson. Hunter Patterson slipped just a skosh at Lost Pines. And I'm rooting for him to bounce back here as well. He was up. He was in that final pairing at Lost Pines in the points group, in the showcased pairing, and this will be a good chance for him to come back and play with Jeremy and Dustin and see where he stands. Timmy Smith from a tee up in that group can keep up with those guys too.
Absolutely, and he's playing really well.
It all comes down to 10 footers for par, baby.
Yeah.
10 footers for par at TPC. Who can make the most 10 footers for par is going to win each day.
I know for me, it's going to be a struggle. Just, Casey knocked me out in the match play semifinal this year, and now I'm paired with him on the first day. So it's going to be a challenge for me to just focus on my game and not try to just absolutely destroy him all day, you know?
Absolutely.
It's going to be
fun. Some more names in First Flight to be on the lookout for. Roland De La Garza has had a couple great scores on this division schedule.
Steve Robert has had some good scores lately. Jeff Kotlarczyk beat Bob North at Lost Pines by 2 shots, proving to everybody that Bob North could be beaten. So anything can happen, and the tour travels to TPC this weekend. I mean, that's awesome to say.
It is awesome. I'm really excited.
Did we lose MD? Did he
I
log
think
off?
I think we might. Yeah, I think we might have. But I didn't get a dark horse pick just yet.
Okay, awesome. I love it. We'll keep talking
Until he comes back.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was, man, Dale Beavers has just been playing well on both divisions so far. So I mean, I can see him figuring it out for this weekend and really making a run. So I think my dark horse pick is Dale Beavers.
He has been playing great down the stretch.
I mean, he's been at the top of the leaderboard every single tournament we've been playing.
Yep.
So,
Jason Barger playing good.
Yeah.
Has had some really good scores. Won an event. He won the Olympia Hills event with you, right?
Yeah. Well, we played together. And yeah, you played really well. I think you got the net side, and then he took Gross at the Brack tournament, this last tournament. So, yeah, Jason's been playing well. But yeah, I think we lost MD for good, unfortunately.
Okay. Absolutely. We're having some technical difficulties from on location there with MD.
Yeah.
MD is still with us backstage, we believe. He's here clicking graphics. We could take this graphic off, MD, whenever you're ready. And we'll see. Okay, MD is still here. Okay, that was the confirmation we were looking for. Brad Gilbert, with the technical difficulty from MD on location there, we're going to go ahead and cut this show a little shorter.
Yeah.
Everything this week is about the Greater Hill Country Division playoffs and 2 more names added to the match play. Brad Gilbert, give us your final thoughts for the rest of the field going into the first ever Greater Hill Country Division playoffs.
I mean, we've got some of the best golfers in San Antonio on one of the best tours available for an amateur golfer. So, I mean, the recipe is there. It's an amazing event. I want to thank you personally on behalf of everyone for, creating this type of situation where we can, I mean, it's just awesome to look forward to all of these tournaments, but now playing at TPC, like I said, playing where the pros play, playing with some of the best golfers in San Antonio. I mean, it's just the coolest experience. And, my week would have been a lot worse if I didn't have, this to look forward to. So, I mean, I just want to thank you on behalf of everyone. I mean, this whole season's been awesome. So we all appreciate you. So what are you doing to get ready and get those final touches in?
Well, going back and communicating back and forth a little bit with the TPC tournament ops staff, where we're going to put tents and banners and scoring and parking the trailer and all of that good stuff. But as soon as we click off the air tonight, I'll go right to Golf Genius and work on building Golf Genius with the rest of the setup committee and get that link live. And from there, we can create all the paperwork, cart signs, scorecards, rule sheets, whole location sheets, all of the supplementary documents. Make any last-minute player changes before the second notice. And the second notice comes out tomorrow. And it's just a touch more, I'm going to use the word casual for me on Saturday morning.
Sure.
But it makes it more stressful for me because I'm sitting waiting to pull out of the driveway for a little bit longer, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
for sure.
fighting the alarm clock. I'm now fighting the sunrise, you know,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's just a little different. And trying to stay patient is the most difficult aspect for me.
Yeah.
And really be here and be in the moment and be around as many of the tour golfers as I can. Just really trying to share in that excitement and that tournament atmosphere that, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes I still really crave, and you can't manufacture that.
No.
And it's a really cool week, and it's a day and a half away, and really exciting. It's really excited to be at TPC. Really excited for the Greater Hill Country Division to wrap up. The expansion journey has been awesome.
Yeah.
And ultimately excited to add 2 new names and 2 new faces to that match play graphic. So just jazzed. Well, guys, on an emotional side note, that wraps up the show for this evening. It is September 5th. It is a Thursday. Special shout out to MD, the Power Hour podcast host, who fought through technical difficulties on location while he is on vacation playing in a golf tournament. Takes the time to come run the podcast for the tour. Shout out to MD.
Yeah,
Good
he's
luck,
the best.
Brad Gilbert. Good luck, golfers everywhere this weekend, but especially good luck to everybody competing in the Greater Hill Country Division playoffs at TPC. Low scores. May the bounces ever be in your favor. And hopefully you're the 2 that are added to the match playlist. Thank you all for watching. Have a great evening. Visit us, www.stxamtour.golf, for all of your information tour related. Special shout out to our partners and sponsors this year: David Falconer, Shelby AC and Refrigeration, Laura Lewis, The Cake Place and More, Micah Carroll, Cairo Services, Danny Puckett and Global Fairway Logistics, and Ben Carricker and Alex Zertucci at the golf shop at San Pedro.
What a great group.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week live on the air, and we'll see you this week at TPC. Have a great night.